Hi Capricorn, welcome to your mid-July Tarot and Astrology reading. You might notice that the cards are a little bit different. I have decided to make stacks. So these are all the cards that have come out for you. I took quite a lot of cards for you because there was a lot of stuff going on. We obviously had a lunar eclipse in your sign, and the energies of that are still very strong because it was at the start of July. Now we are going to have a new moon in Cancer coming up opposite you, so there is, it made sense with a lot of the cards that are coming up. So let's have a little chat about it. The first couple of cards I got were really beautiful. There was Luminosity and there was the Divine Feminine. So, Cancer season is the mother and your season is the father. And there's a strong emphasis here on the balancing of energies. The Divine Feminine is very much to do with being confident, feeling beautiful, feeling nurturing, feeling special, feeling divine. And I got this strong sense, Capricorn, that with all the light being shone on you guys at the moment, and I will explain, the sun in Cancer, which is the ego, the sun is the ego, is shining a light on Jupiter, Saturn, your ruler, and Pluto, all in your sign. Now, that might seem a little bit confusing at first. What I'm trying to say here is that luminosity means that the sun is trying to shine a light on what is beautiful about you. Okay, what is beautiful about you? And what is beautiful about Capricorns is that they're loyal, they are kind, they are thoughtful, they are ambitious, they are strong, they are reasonable, which is actually a really beautiful quality that I think. And it is trying to shine a light on those type of feelings in yourself. Feeling that way about yourself, feeling beautiful, feeling like you can create. Your cards were quite unusual, so let's talk about this. We had the Eight of Wands, Eight of Fire in this. We had the Ego, which is the Devil card. Two of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Seven of Air, and the High Priestess. So let's start with the first three. Let's start with the Eight of Fire, the Ego, and the Two of Pentacles. So there's a lot going on around you. And I think for many of you, you have a really strong focus at the moment on financial and material things. I feel a lot of you feel somewhat trapped. There is such a strong focus on the serious stuff. Is one thing that I'm getting about this. The needing to be practical, needing to have things in order, having your ducks in a row. And I think for a lot of you, it's not feeling so fun anymore. And what's coming in with the Eight of Wands is that things are really happening for you. There's a lot of stuff to be doing at once. I feel like there's this chaotic up in the air energy. And sometimes Capricorn, when things get very chaotic, especially when there's so much emphasis on your personal sector, I feel that maybe some of you are feeling a little bit like you need to control things, and maybe some of you are feeling a little bit threatened by external events, particularly as far as your relationships go. The other cards that I got were the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Air, which is the Seven of Swords, and the High Priestess. And one of the things that I felt is that there is a little bit of uncertainty surrounding love, especially if you're dealing with a Pisces. Now, this isn't to say that anybody's doing anything wrong, but I feel like there is a lot of insecurity coming up for you. And one of the reasons that I think this is, Capricorn, is that somebody in the past, and it could be the person that this is, but I feel that this is more something in the past really affected your ability to feel luminous, to feel beautiful. I feel like there's always this, I think some of you are maybe becoming kind of obsessed with diet. Venus is in Gemini in your 6th house, and I feel like some of you are becoming obsessed with diet or fitness, or the need to be perfect is one thing that I'm hearing. I feel like you want to be perfect, and you're starting to chip away at yourself, or someone else has chipped away at you, and it's left lasting results. I feel for a lot of you that with so much going on in your partnership sector, for those of you that are in unhappy or relationships that aren't based on mutual respect, understanding, and kindness, I feel like a lot of you are going through a period where that's been very revealing. I feel like some of you have really gone through a period where things have come out that have maybe upset you, or things have come out that really were not in your best interest to happen to you, but it was in your best interest to know, Capricorn. I feel like for a lot of you, You have to make your decisions, going forward on what people do rather than what they say. For some of you, there is a history of a controlling relationship with the devil. And what was interesting that came out for you is that the devil is actually your major arcana, but it came out twice, okay? So we had the Nine of Swords, the devil, and the Eight of Cups. So what I actually see for you, Capricorn, is getting to grips with anything that has made you feel trapped or anything that is toxic and actually leaving it behind. And this goes for relationships, it goes for work environments, it goes for detaching yourself from really unhealthy family dynamics. But with the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Swords, I feel like there's a need to practice forgiveness because in many situations, Capricorn, there's more going on than what meets the eye. So we have the Death card, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles, which again suggests that you're leaving behind a toxic period in your life where everybody was, maybe you went through periods where people were quite deceitful, quite dishonest, you felt really shortchanged by people, by friends, by lovers. And I feel like it's coming to an end now. I feel like there is some kind of ending to a really negative cycle where everything has just felt heavy and everything has felt quite draining on you. I feel like there has been a person in particular in your life, somebody who drains you quite significantly. It's almost as if nothing ever fixed things. There was always something going on with them. And I think for a lot of you, you're really tired of it. And the eclipses in your signs over the last 2 years in Cancer and Capricorn have been really harsh on you because they've shifted things. And if you're in a relationship, Capricorn, especially if you're Capricorn moon or Capricorn rising that has survived the last 2 years, you can rest assured that you're in a really strong dynamic because there's been a lot of pressure on your partnerships. But I think for a lot of you, this is just somebody that's been in your life a long time that's making you feel kind of drained. And I don't know who it is, but the devil coming up twice is significant. And with Saturn back in your sign, it really wants to say to you, Capricorn, did you get it? Like, do you get the message? I can't have you going through this all the time because it's chipping away at your self-esteem. Something in your life is really chipping away at your self-esteem. For some of you, it's a need to be successful. For some of you, it's a need to control things. And it was interesting because the cards that came up for you were really, really spiritual. So the crow, the eagle, and the lamb. I feel like some of you are starting to see things from a much higher perspective. But I also feel like you're very strongly intuitive. You're really strongly you're transforming your karma. You're coming out the other end with different karmic lessons and a way of being at peace. I feel like I see a lot of you going into a period of peace. Where you feel like you trust your intuition, you're not ignoring it anymore. Anything that's no longer working, you're giving serious thought to and revising it. But I also see that one of the things coming up for you, Capricorn, is a strong fear of getting hurt. And I don't think that you're necessarily too wary of people that are coming into your life, but I feel like there's maybe a little bit of lack of trust in yourself, and it's asking you, Capricorn, to really get in touch with the divine feminine energy. Really get in touch with your own beauty, your own worth, and your ability to create things and recreate things. You're ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of karma, and with the devil energy coming up twice here, I feel like your beliefs of being trapped in a particular situation is unfounded. It's not always going to be that way. The cards are asking you to believe, though, that you will be financially provided for and that money is going to be okay and things are going to work out. Because one of the things that I see coming up for you is material abundance and options coming in quite quickly, okay? So with the Eight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, I feel like things are going to start taking off in terms of money. And you're being asked to focus more on the moment rather than the material, okay? That's one thing that's coming up really clearly, is focus on the moment and the emotional connections rather than the material, because I feel like it's affecting your relationships. I feel like the fear, this feeling of being trapped, is pushing you away from people, and you really have to, revise your feelings. The High Priestess energy comes up for a reason when there's things that you do not know. And there's part of a divine plan going on here that you don't quite realize because your karma is shifting. It's almost like you've been in the fire and you're coming out of it as an eagle. You're flying higher, you're You have an awareness, you have a peace coming towards you where you feel very at ease with the way things are. And I can only say that with the Death card, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Swords, you are moving on from a period of anxiety and stress. Is one thing that's coming up really clear for you. I'm actually going to draw a couple. I haven't shuffled for anybody else, but I'm actually going to draw a couple more for you and see what your future blessings are with this, because I feel like you're coming out of quite an unusually, well, maybe not unusually, but I feel like you're coming out of a very anxious period where you're really worried about somebody. Okay. So, yes, Queen of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Hermit. For a lot of you, you've really been trying to find some kind of answers in terms of family or in terms of the past. Maybe you were in an abusive relationship or a toxic relationship, but I feel like a lot of you are starting to unearth some things. And with the South Node being in your 12th house, Capricorn, you're starting to come to grips with some really strong spiritual truths. And that's not always easy. You know, that's not always comfortable. And with so many planets in your sign and so much light being shone on you, secrets can't stay secret, unfortunately, as much as you might want them to. A lot of stuff is going to be coming out for you. But I feel like most of it is subconscious. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that you need to work out from childhood, feelings of rejection, feelings of abandonment, for you to really prosper and move into the next phase of your life that you deserve to move into, especially with the crow, especially with the eagle and with the lamb. This strong sense of evolving. You know, I think with the double air energy here, in comparison with the earth, a lot of you are really living in your head. And I think a lot of you are actually having moments of, you know, maybe even paranoia. And maybe paranoia about love, maybe anxiousness about love. But you need to understand, Capricorn, that a light is being shone on all your fears, and that might feel a little uncomfortable, but it's helping you grow. It's helping you become the person that you need to become, and it's making way for luminosity in your life, things that are meant to be, things that can grow, things that can really work, you know? You need to have a clear mind in order to go forward. And with the Crow card, it's all about self-study and looking after yourself and eating healthier and not being so hard on yourself and not being so self-critical and really getting to grips with that voice and why it's there. The Eagle card as well, you know, there's a strong sense of wanting you to shine, Capricorn, but I feel like you're a little bit afraid of it at the moment. And you need to know that you're stronger than you think. And for a lot of you, in some way, you're stepping into the unknown, and it's going to be the maker of you. And you're going to come through this and be a much brighter, more successful version of you. So I'm sorry that sounded quite heavy, but with the sun shining a light on your sign in so many instances, Capricorn, there's big changes for you. So I have every faith that you're going to come out of this the brightest version of yourself, and you're going to be so grateful for it all. Okay, so I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.